Israel, yeah, how about Hashem Yahushua bring a thumb to the brothers, Shalom Yahushua Allah thumb by Hashem Yahushua to the sisters, where the ISUPK started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohana. And since 1969, we'll be teaching so-called Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans the truth according to the Bible. What is the truth according to the Bible? That you are the 12 lost tribes of the nation of Israel. You understand? This is the Las Vegas Thursday scripture breakdown class. Preaching Officer Shabal holding down the class tonight. If anyone has any questions, go ahead and type them in. Anybody in the class has any questions, I got the rest of your question from last week. So we'll get into that first. Before we even get into all that, if there's anyone in the Las Vegas area who's looking for the class, who's in need of counsel, breakdowns, whatever the case may be, you can find us on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas, and you can find us on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada. You understand? Every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have classes from 7 to 9 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, of course. You know what I mean? So if you're in the Las Vegas area, man, and you're looking for the home of the truth, go ahead and hit us up, all right? Before we get into the class, like I ask every week, if you guys, the brothers and sisters, could like and share the class, Barbara Kashaw. Again, not just the classes that are coming out of Vegas. You got brothers that's teaching, classes all across the four corners of the earth, man. That's doing a hell of a job. If it's coming out of UPK, you can trust and believe. That it's a class that you're gonna want to see. You get my point? It's gonna be something. It's gonna be something in there. That you can use in your daily life. You get my point? Because everything that we teach comes right out of this book, the same book that the Christian church claims that they believe in. You know what I mean? We actually don't just say we believe in it. You understand? We live it. You get what I'm saying? That's one of the many things that separates us from the Christian church. You know what I mean? So again, if y'all can like and share the class, tonight's topic, if we don't have any questions other than the one I got to finish answering from last week, we're gonna go into rebellion and breaking that cycle of rebellion. You understand? Because one thing about us, one thing we're known for is being a rebellious people. You get what I'm saying? And so what we're going to do is we're going to pull scriptures, that talks about rebellion. You get my point? And we're going to read things, that goes into rebellion. So before I get into that, if everybody can like and share the class, Barbara Kashard, and we're going to get started. Also, again, you can find us on YouTube, ISUPK Nevada, and on Facebook, ISUPK Las Vegas. All right. So I don't see any God is love, though, regardless which God. Okay. So before I get into finish your question from last week, Rock. Let me respond to what the brother. I believe this is a brother. I believe. Sloggy brother or sister. No disrespect. I can't really see the picture that good. It's a comment on Facebook. What it says is God is love, though, regardless which God we raise our highest praise to. And that right there is the mentality of a Christian. You get my point? In here, we teach the truth according to the Bible, and we're not concerned with your feelings. You get my point? This isn't something that we vote on. You get my point? We've talked about this several times that we not Bakard. It's not about what we feel. It's about what the Lord says. You get my point? Everybody that serves the Lord, truly serves the Lord, has given up something in their life that they did not want to give up. We don't have to go down the line. I'll speak for myself. You know what I'm saying? I've mentioned this before. You know what I'm saying? I loved fried shrimp. This is before I knew how disgusting it was. Even before I found out that it was unlawful. This is before I even knew anything about it being a bottom feeder and all these other kind of things. That was my get down. You know what I'm saying? Fried, what was it? Either catfish steaks or filet of catfish. You know what I'm saying? With a half a pound of shrimp. You know what I'm saying? Some fries, and I was good. You get my point? I was doing it at least once a week. You know what I mean? When the holidays came around, I didn't give a damn about the holidays, but I did care about the food that was cooked on the holidays. Specifically, you know what I'm saying, your 4th of July, because I knew we was going to have barbecue. You get my point? We wasn't doing beef ribs at my house. We were doing pork ribs in my family. You get my point? We was doing hot dogs. It didn't matter what part of the goddamn hot dog it was. We was eating hot dogs. You get what I'm saying? I was looking forward to them fireworks and all that kind of stuff. Not because it had anything to do with America. I didn't give a damn about that. But I just wanted to see shit blow up. You get what I'm saying? That's the reality of it. But the thing about it is, once I learned the truth and I started serving the God of the Bible, I no longer give a damn about the food that's being served on 4th of July. I no longer care about, you know what I'm saying, mashed potatoes and gravy and a biscuit and all that, because I never really was a big turkey eater myself. I did like that honey glazed ham, though. You get my point? But for the sake of serving the God of the Bible, we don't give a damn about none of that. You get what I'm saying? If you was a brother who loved white women or Chinese women or African women, when you came into the truth, you know what I'm saying, you gave all that up. Right. You get what I'm saying? Because why? Because the God of the Bible, you know what I'm saying, he has do's and don'ts, which is funny because what this brother said goes right into the topic. That right there is a rebellious spirit right there that brother has on him. You get my point? That no matter what God you serve, God is love. Yeah, God does love, but God also loveth who he chasteneth who he loveth. Right or wrong? Right. Do I need to pull the scripture for whoever this is that made that comment? Do I need to pull the scripture to show you that, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, God is love, but God is a jealous God. You get my point? And he will, and the reason why we're in the condition that we in, you understand, is because of our disobedience to the Lord. You get my point? So that's it on that. If the brother or sister has anything else to say, you know what I'm saying, you go ahead and type it in. If you have any questions, you understand, you go ahead and type it in and we'll address it. All right? Go ahead, Bakar.
I was just gonna comment to Camzilla. Mm-hmm. In the Bible I brought out yesterday, it tell you that you know, First Samuel, where it talks about God killing and make alive. You know what I'm saying? He's the one who's responsible for, for deaths and things that happen. You know what I'm saying? So if it was all love, then how can you explain that scripture when you say that the Most High kill it and make it alive, bring it up and bring it down? And also when he talks about, paraphrase, God is a man of war. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
War ain't got nothing to do with, love.
Right.
Obviously, there's an opponent in war, so
right.
You know what I'm saying? There's some element of him not liking or hating people.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To like you said, it's very Christian to kind of just hang on to one element of the Most High. Yes, he has a love attribute, just like you have a love attribute. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You also get mad. You know what I'm saying? You also don't like me. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is with our God. You know what I'm saying? It's with
straight like that, and it's not up for debate. Right. You know what I'm saying? It's not. This isn't a back and forth thing. You know what I mean? This is black and white. You get what I'm saying? Hey Shalom, hey Shabayala, what's going on with you, man? You out there doing your thing in Carolina, man? Them classes is on point. Keep doing your thing, all right? Real quick, Iraq, let me get Ecclesiastes 3 and 8 real quick to Bakar's point and to Camzilla. Let's get that real quick.
I'll start with 3 and then give it to 3.
I mean, that's fine too. You know what I mean, either way, you know what I'm saying. You can start at 1 and then just drop down to 8.
So yeah, concept of it.
You doing something?
Please, and then just drop down to 8 from there.
Oh God, this is the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 3, verse 1.
Shoot it.
To everything there is a season.
Read it again.
To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heaven. Verse 8. A time to love and a time to hate.
There's always time to love.
And a time to hate.
There's a season that's never ending in regards to love.
And a time to hate.
It is against the Most High to hate.
And a time to hate. A time of war and a time of peace.
You get what I'm saying? And this is right here out of the Bible. This is Ecclesiastes, the 3rd chapter. So you can go back and read it for yourself, Camzilla, whenever you get time. You know what I mean? But this Bible is not all about love. You get my point? This Bible is about warfare. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes that warfare is nation against nation. And then sometimes that warfare is you against yourself. You understand? Either way, it's all about warfare. It's not all about love. How do you know that the Bible is not all about love? Because if it was all about love, why the hell did the Romans kill Christ?
Right.
He didn't do nothing wrong last time I checked. Unless you finna pull out some new Bible, you get what I'm saying, that showed that Christ sinned, and I'm damn sure not finna teach nothing like that. Because the scriptures don't say that Christ sinned. You get my point? So why did they kill Christ? Anybody online, why did they kill Christ? If the Bible is all about love, why did they kill Christ? All right.
So they hated him.
Simple, right?
Yeah.
Here's another one. Why they stone Stephen?
They hated him.
I mean, you see the pattern here?
Yeah.
You get my point? So I mean, I ain't gonna spend too much time on that. You know what I mean? If Camzilla, you know what I'm saying, want to respond, say something else, you know what I'm saying, we'll deal with it. In the meantime, let's get 2nd Ezra chapter 6 and verse 21 again, because I didn't have the full breakdown on the first part of 21, and so in here we don't teach what we don't understand. You get my point? The scriptures say what? Lean not unto your own understanding, right? So a prideful man would have sat here and just ran his mouth and try to make it sound good, to try to impress you, to make it seem like he knows every goddamn thing. You get my point? That's what a prideful man would have did. You get what I'm saying? But a man of the Lord, a man who has pride, but who's not prideful, will break down what he knows and take the time to make sure that before he teaches on anything else, he understands the breakdown. You get my point? And that's what we do in here. You get what I'm saying? We're not private to the point to where, you know, we just gonna wing it just to make it seem like we got all the answers. There's a reason why there's men above us. You get my point? There's a reason why General Hyman teaches the scripture breakdown class. You get what I'm saying? So now that I have the understanding on 6 and 21, we're gonna read it, and then I'm gonna ask you, Rock, since it was your question, I'm gonna ask you how you took 21. All right.
God, this is the book of 2nd Ezra, chapter 6, verse 21.
Shoot it.
And the children of a year old shall speak with their voices. The women the women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up.
So when you read that, what do you take from that? And we'll go from there.
So like it's in the key with a book, which I felt like that was, you know, kind of a straightforward thing. Because the thing is we are actually in a time where children where women are bearing children for 3 to 4 months and giving birth to them prematurely, and they live.
Got you.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm just not sure if that understanding is correct, because it's also talking about, you know, kids that are younger than a year old are going to be able to speak and whatnot. So that's why I was asking.
Got you. So now, when you hear the year old, right? How did you take that when you read that? When it says that the children of a year old shall speak with their voices.
I wasn't sure if it was like a literal child or if it was like somebody that's been in the truth for a year.
Okay. I understand.
I just wasn't sure.
No, completely understand. And the reason why I'm asking is because I wanted to see where you were, to see how close you were to the actual breakdown. You get my point?
Okay.
And so we'll start with that, because that's before the childbearing part. Okay. So in 21, it says, and the children of a year old shall speak with their voices, right? Now, it doesn't literally mean 1 year old, not literally, but it does, however, mean what?
Like a young child.
Yes. You get what I'm saying? So meaning what? So not only is it saying, so what it's saying is a young child will speak with their voices. That speak with their voices mean that they're going to be able to speak with some knowledge, with some intelligence. Why will children of a young age be able to speak with knowledge?
Is it us coming into the truth? Or is it?
That's part of it, but it's something else to it as well. That's just as important as us being in the truth. Well, yeah, I'll say just. Well, first of all, of course, we got coming into the truth as a parent is, you know what I'm saying. That's number one, of course. But right up under that, you get what I'm saying, is well, I don't want to say I want to give you a shot.
It's the fact that we're actually teaching them. They're being taught to speak with knowledge and not to just babble.
The babble part, bring me home. Break that down a little bit more. With the sisters online, they're being taught, they're being trained up correctly. That's true, but it's more to it. All you guys are right, but it's more to that babble thing that you're talking about.
Because we're actually teaching them the way that they should speak instead of just letting them have, like, so to speak, to be about their own ways. Is that?
Yeah, I mean that's true, but that's not quite it. I mean, Carl, you want to take a shot? Here's the clue.
Is it them speaking in Hebrew?
No, I mean we will teach them that as well. But okay, think about a baby, right? And think about you as a parent, and think about. Damn, that's kind of a dead giveaway. Go ahead.
The parent is following after the law, statutes, commandments, and so the child is doing as the parent is.
You're owning. Go ahead, Bakar.
For example, pretty much they're gonna speak like how we speak righteously. They're gonna be speaking like righteously.
As opposed to
like talking about like the culture of America, like speaking on like about is it supposed to speak on our righteousness? You know what I'm saying? Like as far as like our kids today, they speak about stuff that don't even matter. You know what I mean? About their feelings, about what they like, wicked things. You know what I'm saying?
That's true as well, but not quite. But that's true. All right.
Well, because I'm reading verse 20, and it's basically saying that the world is being, the ways of the old world, Esau's world, is being removed. So because they don't, the child doesn't know of those ways anymore, or just future children don't have the opportunity to know of those ways.
All that is true as well. I'm gonna give it to y'all, right? Think about how you talk to a 1-year-old. That's true as well. Not what I'm looking for. This is what the sister said is along the lines of what y'all saying, but it's not what I'm looking for. So as I say this, y'all be able to pick up what I'm laying down. Think about a small child, right? And think about the interaction between you and that child. How is that interaction?
Loving and caring.
That's true. Okay. Okay. When you see it, go ahead.
You dumb things down.
Bring me home. I mean, you right there.
So the child will basically be able to understand.
Now you went off.
I mean,
when you say dumb it down, you right there when you talk about the dumbing it down part. All right.
They speak of like milk scriptures type thing.
No, like this. Think about it. Think about when you see a baby. How do you talk to a baby?
So that they can.
Well, not us, but people in the world. That's true as well. Not what I'm looking for. I'm gonna give it to y'all. For the most part, when we talk to young children, we talk to them in gibberish. The little baby talk.
Yeah,
you get my point? Again, as a whole, you might not do it. You might not do it. The people that's watching this tape might not do it, but we as a whole do it. All the little baby talk, the goo goo gaga, all the dumb shit. You get my point? There it is right there. As I'm saying it, Sis Online is saying it as well. That's it right there. You get my point? We should not be doing that. It's not unlawful, but it's not wise. You get my point? As we talk to them, you get what I'm saying, and train them up like y'all was talking about, they'll learn how to speak at a younger age, and they'll learn how to speak with intelligence. A lot of those, I'm gonna use TikTok as an example, even though I don't watch TikTok, but I can imagine just from growing up. I remember, okay, and y'all can relate to this. Y'all know how there'll be like a function or something like that, right? And then you'll have a little kid that's full of personality, right? You'll ask him to say certain things because you know he's gonna say it wrong, and everybody think it's so cute, and everybody laughs at it. Or you might even record him saying or doing something that's really goofy, but everybody thinks is really cute. You get what I'm saying? Whether he talk with a lisp or whatever the case may be, he's saying something wrong. I mean, everybody know that kid that used to say he had at least one word he or she said that you knew what he or she was saying, but it was so wrong that you didn't correct him. You just laughed because you thought it was funny or you thought it was cute. You get my point? And so they make videos about it. You get what I'm saying? Or if let's just say there's a baby that know how to dance already. He's breaking it down. You get my point? And everybody's recording him and all that stuff and making a laughing stock out of that child. You get what I'm saying? Well, the thing about it is, as we talk to them at a young age, in infant stage, and we talk to them as, you know what I'm saying, not with the gibberish, not with the baby talk, but we actually talking to them, just like when it comes to reading to them, which is funny because when you read to a child, you don't read to them in gibberish, but when you talk to them, you talk to them with gibberish. I really don't get that one, but that's what we do. You get what I'm saying? But the thing about it is, we're gonna, as we learn more, we teach them more. And so as they grow up, they won't say things incorrectly. They'll talk with wisdom. They'll talk with intelligence. And you'll look at him and be like, damn, how old is he? You know what I'm saying? And you'll marvel at his ability to speak, although he's at a young age. You get my point? Just like there's brothers in the school who's teaching their kids right now how to speak Hebrew. And they know how to write the Hebrew alphabet at a very young age. You get my point? So this doesn't literally mean 1 year old. It just means a young age. They'll start talking like, because we know how old does a baby usually start talking? How old are they usually? Right, but they just make it sound. I mean, what they saying, dad, mama, stuff like that. You get my point? Paw, Mima, and all that those, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But they'll be actually know how to speak like with intelligence. You get what I'm saying? So that's what that's talking about here. Keep reading the rest of 21.
Oh God. The women with child shall bring forth untimely children of 3 or 4 months old, and they shall live and be raised up.
Okay. So now that part about the 3 or 4 months old, how did you take that?
Like basically, you know, like premature babies. Like you can. I was kind of thinking like, you know, where the pregnancies where, you know, there was complications with the mother or the child, so they had, you know, that caused a premature birth, whether it's a health issue or just the simple fact that the mother was a crack addict or something like that.
You're correct. Maybe not. Okay, so I wouldn't, because it doesn't say why.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That child was born prematurely, but 3 or 4 months, we already know that's a premature birth, right?
Right.
That's what it's talking about. So so that part of the breakdown you were correct on. So it's basically just saying that there'll be that mothers will be giving birth earlier than what they normally do, but they will live, to your point as well. So you was correct on that also.
So, and this is at the time. Yeah, no, it is. This is at the time at the end, right? Okay.
You see what I'm saying? So where it says they shall live and be raised up. So even though they were born prematurely, you know what I'm saying, they're going to live, and they're going to be raised up, and they're going to be taught just like that 1 year old. So they'll be taught, and so when they are, you know what I'm saying, of age, they'll be able to speak, you know what I'm saying, with wisdom. You get my point? Or they'll be able to speak intelligently. They'll know more than your Christian pastor. You get my, which nowadays really ain't saying much, because the deeper we get into the truth, the more we realize just how stupid these pastors really are. You get my point? So yeah, that was it on that. So I just wanted to make sure, you know what I mean, that was correct. And so that's the breakdown on that. So it's basically just saying like young children, instead of speaking in gibberish, you know what I mean, they'll actually know how to speak with intelligence. And then the other part is talking about, you know what I'm saying, premature birth. Right. You had your hand up?
Yeah. So is this verse, the second half with the women bringing forth children that at 3 or 4 months? Could you teach that that's basically a prophecy of our medical technology that we have today, because it's because of the medical technology that we have today that's even possible that for a child that was only in the womb for 3 to 4 months to be able to survive. You know what I'm saying?
I understand what you're saying. Me myself, I would give credit to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? And then go into the technology part. You know what I'm saying? Because who gives man the knowledge?
The Most High.
You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So we would thank the Most High for the advancements in technology in order to make it possible for a child that's born 3 or 4 months premature to still live and then and be raised up. So that's how you would teach that. You understand? Was there anything else? McCarr, you good to go? Anybody online got anything before we go into this breakdown? It's a little early that we going into it, so Lord willing, I'll actually be able to get through this whole thing because some of these examples that I'm going to bring out is gonna I hate saying bring out. It just remind me of that fake Israelite group. But some of the things that we're gonna go over tonight requires some reading. You get my point? So I'm gonna try to get through this, you know what I'm saying, in one class. If not, you know what I mean, I'll carry it over to a second part. But the topic of tonight's class is, you know what I'm saying, breaking the cycle of rebellion. You get my point? So every scripture that we're gonna go over is gonna be talking about rebellion. Now, I do have some scriptures for the end, you know what I'm saying, that will go into us being able to overcome that rebellion and us being able to come back to the Most High. All right, so I'm gonna give it a couple more seconds. Check online real quick. I don't see anything, so I think we good to go. I don't see any other questions. So okay, so let's get it right. So before we actually pull any scriptures, somebody give me the definition of rebellion, please.
Okay. Rebellion out of the Oxford languages.
Shoot it.
Noun, an act of violent or open resistance to an established government or ruler.
Man, read that part again.
An act of violent or open resistance to an established an established government or ruler.
You know what I'm saying? That open. What did it say again? Open
resistance.
So. Let's focus on that part. The open resistance to
the Most High.
We're gonna get there, but read the definition again.
An act of violent or open resistance to an established government or ruler.
Government or ruler, right? This is what we're getting ready to go into right now. You know what I'm saying? So remember the definition of rebellion. You know what I'm saying? And as we go into these scriptures, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna make a lot of sense. All right. So first, let's start with Genesis, the 3rd chapter. We're gonna go down there to the very beginning of the book. We actually going the first 2 scriptures I want to pull is actually right here in Genesis. We're gonna start with Genesis, the 3rd chapter. All right, and then we're gonna go into a little bit of Genesis, the 4th chapter as well. And what you'll see as we go through these scriptures, you'll see a common theme. You get my point? Please.
The book of Genesis, chapter 3, verse 1. Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field.
Now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field, right? Keep reading.
Which the Lord God had made.
You see what I'm saying? So General Q went over this earlier because somebody had a question on this in the scripture breakdown class. So I'm not going to spend too much time on that part of it. You know what I mean? Because the way he broke it down, I mean, why even mess with it? You get what I'm saying? The bottom line is when you see that serpent, you know what I'm saying? You Christians have to get out of your heads that serpent is a literal serpent. One of the many examples that you can give to prove that it's not a literal serpent is when you drop down to 15, when it talks about the enmity between her seed and thy seed.
Right.
You get my point? You're telling me that her kids is gonna have beef with other snakes. You see what I'm saying? If you just think about it, it don't even. You can't make it make sense unless you hide. Then you probably could. You'll probably just talk somebody to ad nauseum, like, you know, okay, you know something. You're right. I feel you. You know, you got it. You know what I mean? But if you're thinking clear-minded, which is what we are in here, because we don't get high in here. You get my point? We're not high on drugs, and we're not high on some fake religion. You get my point? This is the Israelite school of universal and practical knowledge. So with that practical knowledge, we know that this isn't talking about an actual serpent.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But what we do know is that the characteristics of this person is that of a serpent. You get what I'm saying? And all you got to do is just look at history and look at what he did to the so-called Native Americans. Look at how he's doing the so-called Haitians. You get my point? That right there goes to show you who it is that this is talking about. All right, keep reading.
And he said unto the woman, yeah, hath God said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden. Verse 2. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden. Verse 3. But of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God hath said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Verse 4. And the serpent said unto the woman, ye shall not surely die. Verse 5. For God doth know that in the day ye eat thereof, then your eyes shall be open, and ye shall be as gods.
You should be as what?
Be as gods, knowing good and evil.
Let's stop right there, because that scripture right there, that right there is the blueprint of the mindset of the woman today.
Right. You
get my point? Why am I saying that? Because the part where it says, and ye shall be as gods, what is that talking about? All right.
The black woman is God.
Exactly. But the black woman is God, meaning what though? Or
she's in power over, pretty much in power over the man.
You see what I'm saying? So once you call her a god or a, what's the other word?
Queen.
That's it.
Yeah.
Boom. It's done. You get what I'm saying? And that right there is how Eve, that's what she was looking for. Because prior to that, she wasn't worried about it. You know what I'm saying? But which also goes to show you that we come from the bloodline of these people is because the same thing that get these sisters today is the same thing that got this sister thousands of years ago. That whole God or power or queen, sister said power. That's correct. Anything like that, you put that in the mind of a woman, you tell her that, it's a wrap. You get my point? So that's why we stopped right here, because this right here is the blueprint of why our sisters as a whole, you know what I'm saying, walk around with the mindset that they walk around with. You get my point? And what's so sad about it is a lot of these sisters walk around with that mindset based on a paycheck. Right. Or based on a degree. Right. Or based on the kind of car they drive. You get what I'm saying? Which also goes to show you the simplicity of our sisters. You get my point? And it's because of listening to the serpent as to why our sisters are so simplistic. You get my point? Keep reading.
Verse 6. And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food.
That it was what?
Good for food. And that it was pleasant to the eyes.
Read that part again. It was what?
That it was pleasant to the eyes.
Once again, this right here is also a blueprint, you know what I'm saying, for the sisters today. Why do I say that? You see what I'm saying? Because what do they want? They want the Prada. Is that still popular? Prada, Chanel. What's another one? Dolce, Gucci, Louis, all these things. Y'all get the point. If it's pleasant to the eyes, I have to have it. You get what I'm saying? And so because I have to have it, I'll do what it takes, whatever it takes in order to get it. You get what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And a tree to be desired to make one wise.
You understand? Sorry, before I finish real quick, I don't in the what the sister just said is correct, and I actually want to elaborate on that a little bit more. The sister said women are materialistic, right? There's nothing wrong with liking material things. There's nothing wrong with it. You know what I'm saying? It becomes a problem when you're willing to sacrifice your moral compass for these material things. You get my point? There's nothing unlawful with any of those brands that I just named right now. You get what I'm saying? If you got the money, you can afford to do it. Hey, do your thing. You get my point? I'm not really into those things, but that's just me. You see what I'm saying? To each his own on that, as long as there ain't nothing unlawful. However, overall, we're able to acquire these things based on doing things that's contrary to this book. You get what I'm saying? So to make it clear, because I don't want nobody to say, oh, he's saying you can't have this, you can't have that. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is, you know what I'm saying? It's not you getting these things, is the thing that you're doing in order to get these things. You understand? Keep reading.
So, and a tree to be desired to make one wise. She took of the fruit thereof and did eat, and gave also unto her husband.
And did what?
And gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat.
You know what I'm saying? Now, we got to stop there, right? So there's a couple of problems in these first few verses, right? So what's the first thing that we see, right? Well, not first thing, because we just talk about the, the materialism and the, and the power and all that kind of stuff. But what else just happened that we just read? All right.
I mean, this is disobedience across the board.
That's true. Other words known as, you said disobedience.
Word.
Another word you would use is?
Rebellion.
That's it. What they did was in rebellion against, because the definition said authority or power, right?
Right.
Bakar, you was going to say something?
I was going to say against the Most High.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? In the Most High is what? He's the ultimate what?
Government, leader,
all that. Oh yeah, but yeah, please, yeah, get the definition again.
Ruler. Slightly. An act of violent or open resistance to an established government or ruler.
You get what I'm saying? That right there was an act of rebellion. Right there. We just read it. You get my point? Sister said they rebelled. She's correct. You see what I'm saying? They rebelled against the Most High. How do you know? How do you know that they rebelled? Because the sister said it herself when the serpent was trying to holler at her. You get my point? So which lets you know what? She knew. You get what I'm saying? And she did it anyway. She knew.
So what you're saying is so powerful.
What's on Christ?
It just goes to show, like, a lot of these women, they know as well, you know what I'm saying, what the way things are supposed to be. They know the things that they're doing.
Heavy.
They're not supposed to be doing.
Heavy.
You know what I'm saying, the way they're acting.
Yeah, heavy.
And a lot of these people grew up where the man was, they had their father in the household. As far as the older generation, the man was the head of the household.
Right.
And they still choose to openly rebel against that, you know what I'm saying, that order, you know what I mean, that was always, within our culture. You know what I'm saying?
That's real talk. What you said is right on point. And again, it just further goes to show you, once again, I've been saying it for the last few weeks, but because I say it because every week somebody, mentions something that where it's like automatically I go to this thought, which is this is more proof that we come from the bloodline of these people, because what we're doing is we're repeating the pattern of those before us. You get what I'm saying? So now that we got that part established, specifically in verse 6, what else do we see? You know what I'm saying? That set the precedent for what's going on today. All right.
Adam followed after her rebellion.
That's it right there. You get my point. You want to know why men are weak up under their women today? It goes all the way back here. Now, and again, when I say men being weak up under their women, I'm talking about as a whole. I'm not talking about in here. You know what I'm saying? The brothers in here have married righteous women. So those women in their righteousness, they understand, you know what I'm saying, the order that the Most High set forth. So there is no power struggle in our households because everybody knows what time it is. You understand? The man knows what time it is and the woman knows what time it is. So there's no power struggle. You understand? There's no division in the household. You get what I'm saying? But overall, you get my point? I wouldn't even say there's any division because, I mean, these dudes just willingly yield their power over to a woman. You get my point? And they do it without any resistance whatsoever, no pushback at all. You get what I'm saying? And they're ingraining this in our minds every day. You know what I'm saying? How? All you gotta do is turn on the TV. there ain't too many shows or movies where there's a married couple where that woman ain't in charge. Unless it's a movie about some abusive ass dude that's, you know, telling her to do this or else type shit. Outside of that, if it like you take, again, one of my favorite shows of all time, at least the first 3 seasons, I should say, when you look at Martin, you know what I'm saying? What was his thing? It's a man thing. You wouldn't understand. That was his thing. I'm a man. I'm a BI. That was his thing. But if you go back to the very first episode, when they was in the room talking and she was mad at him because, you know what I'm saying, he said some shit on the radio that probably shouldn't have said, you know what I mean? But the bottom line is she take him in the room, you know what I'm saying? And she getting at him or whatever. And him, you know what I'm saying, trying to be on some tough guy shit, he get at her like, you know what I'm saying? Basically, what did he say? If you want to step, is what he told her. He pointed at the door and everything. I want you out. You know what I'm saying? Step. And so she looked at him and she bounced. And before she could even get out the door good, they showed him running with the squeaky voice. Gina, 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 Gina. He running and begging and all that. And she just standing with that look on her face like, yeah, nigga, that's what I thought. You get my point? And everybody laughed at it. You get what I'm saying? And what they was doing is they was programming that into us. You get what I'm saying? We talk that tough talk, and as soon as they act on what it is that we saying, you know what I'm saying, we get to showing our true colors. You can see the yellow streak down his back through his shirt. You get my point? And so it's not just that show, but it's countless other shows. The sister say reality shows which women love to watch shows women who think they have power over men. And that's the thing. That's why there is so many so-called reality shows. That's why if you notice all these shows, they saw the blueprint, they seen the success of that show, and they just followed the blueprint. That's why a lot of these shows are pretty much the same. Just like even like when it comes to cop shows, because what are they trying to paint the cop as? All right, a hero. That's why there's so many different variations of cop shows. How many different CSIs is it, man? You know what I mean? How many different Law and Orders is it? You get my point? And we just gonna stop there, right? But if you look at those two, right? You got CSI and you got Law and Order, right? And what those two shows got in common? The cops always get their men because they're always the good guy. And in some cases, the good girl because someone got female leads as well. Right. But y'all get the point. And so there's just cop shows on every network. You get my point? And more times than not, the bad guy, more times than not, is a brother. You get what I'm saying? So what does that do? That creates the notion, you know what I'm saying? The so-called white man is the good guy, and the so-called black man is the bad guy. And look at that white man bring that black man to justice. You know what I'm saying? Another victory for the good guys. You get my point? And that's what's being created. Well, it's no different with the concept of a man being weak up under his woman. You get my point? We just read it, and that part right there is so heavy. You see what I'm saying? And that part, you know what I'm saying, is not, you know what I'm saying, talked about as much as it should be. You get what I'm saying? But Adam, you know what I'm saying, was weak up under his woman. You see what I'm saying? How do you, you know what I'm saying? The proof is right here. I don't even have to ask. You know what I'm saying? Because who knew better more than Eve? Adam. Why? Because the Lord gave it to Adam first. And then Adam turned around and gave it to Eve. Right. You get my point? It's a reason why he gave it to Adam first. You know what I'm saying? Because he was expecting for Adam to be the one with the sense. Okay, yeah, you tripped out. The Lord gonna deal with you. I'm good. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what you would think. You tripped out. You know what I'm saying? When the Lord come through to do a thing, I'm gonna be over here somewhere. I don't want no part of it. You get what I'm saying? But what he did was, you know what I'm saying? And I'm sure, I mean, I don't want to add to or take from the scriptures. You know what I'm saying? So what I will say is I wouldn't be surprised if she did what these sisters do today. I seen it's 2 words that I'm looking for. And I heard it in the I don't know if y'all ever seen X-Men's Origins Wolverine, but his girl said something to them dudes on that bridge that was blocking the road. She said something to them dudes that eliminated the beef. You get what I'm saying? And she said something. It was 2 words because he said, "How'd you do that?" And she said 2 words, and those 2 words is damn near the downfall of man. I expect the sister to get this before I expect the brother to get it. But it happens to brothers all the time. 2 words. Yes, but that's not what she said.
No,
but
right.
that's the meaning of it though. that's the meaning of it. But
I know.
Yeah,
I'm just trying to think of the words.
You know what I'm saying? Anybody online, especially you sisters. I know you sisters know what it's called. I'm gonna give y'all a couple seconds, and I'm gonna give it to y'all. But that's the nigga way of saying it. You get my point? What you said, and that is the definition of it. I'm gonna give y'all a couple more seconds, and I'm gonna give it to y'all. All right, I don't see it, so I'm gonna give it to y'all. Female persuasion. That's what it is. So I'm pretty sure Eve used her female persuasion on Adam. You get what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure. And again, when you turn on the TV and you turn on the radio, that's what they're using. You know what I'm saying? Female persuasion. And it's been working, as you can see, for a long goddamn time. You get what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Verse 7.
And
the eyes of them both were open.
And
they knew that they were naked.
And they what?
And they knew that they were naked. And they sewed fig leaves together. And made themselves aprons. Verse 8. And they heard the voice of the Lord God walking in the garden in the cool of the day. And Adam and his wife hid themselves from the presence of the Lord God amongst the trees of the garden. Verse 9. And the Lord God called unto Adam and said unto him, Where art thou? Verse 10. And he said, I heard thy voice in the garden, and I was afraid because I was naked, and I hid myself. Verse 11. And he said, Who told thee that thou was naked? Hast thou eaten of the tree whereof I commanded thee thou shouldest not eat? Verse 12. And the man said, The woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I did eat.
Stop right there. Why is that right there so important? What is that? What is that? What did Adam just do? All right.
He kind of tried to just take the blame off himself. He's like, you gave me this woman, and she the one who tripped me up.
Right. Which how else would you say that?
My bad, Joe.
No. What did he show there, or what didn't he show?
He showed like weakness, like he was a coward.
That's it.
And he pretty much, you know what I'm saying, was afraid to own up for his role in what he did.
Yeah, that's it. That's exactly what the sister just said. He was being a coward, and that's pretty much how you would sum that up. You know what I'm saying? Which is what you see today every time you turn on First 48. You get my point? You ready to dime out everybody, and now you're trying to make yourself blameless. Well, that's what Adam just tried to do. You get what I'm saying? So once again, you're seeing our history right here. You see what I'm saying? Now, Adam wasn't thinking about that while he was enjoying, you know what I'm saying, these trees and these fruits and all these different things, which we know is different cultures and, you know what I'm saying, ideology and all other nonsense. We know it's not actual leaves and all that stuff. We know that. We know it's not actual fruit either. You get my point? But the thing about it is, though, right there, when he caught that heat, instead of him just taking it on the chin, like, you know what? It's on me. I messed up. You get what I'm saying? He tried to put it on her. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading. We're gonna get some more. This it's a reason why we went to 13. Let's go ahead.
So like, would it have been a different circumstance or like a different outcome if Adam would have just manned up like that and just been like, yeah, my bad, I messed up and just kept Eve out of his mouth?
No.
Okay.
And the reason why, because even him taking responsibility doesn't change the fact that he
still rebelled.
That's it right there. He just added on to what he did by being bitch made, for lack of a better word. You get what I'm saying? Because that was weak. He didn't even blame it on his man. He blamed it on the woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, that made it even worse. It reminded me of I don't even know if the video was real or not, but I seen this video on Facebook a couple weeks ago, and I can't remember if the cat had squared off with him or if he had already fired on him, and the dude was scared, and he actually pulled his woman in front of him. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Those were staged.
Oh, okay. Yeah. But I mean, but would it surprise you if that happened for real though? No. That probably was staged. You get my point? But would it surprise you if stuff was going on like that? You know what I'm saying? So if I put this gun on her, he probably ain't gonna hit her. You get my point? So that's pretty much what Adam tried to do. He tried to put Eve in the front. You get what I'm saying? When in reality, he should have checked her. He still would have got punished. You get what I'm saying? But you never know. Maybe the Lord might not have been so hard on Adam as he was. You never know. You know what I mean? Because he you know what I'm saying, he didn't take it on the chin. You know what I'm saying? He tried to, you know what I'm saying, put it on her. You understand? Keep reading.
Okay. And the Lord, verse 13, and the Lord God said unto the woman, what is it that thou hast done? And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat. You
get what I'm saying? Read that last part again. What the woman say?
And the woman said, the serpent beguiled me, and I did eat.
Why is that part so heavy? How would you translate that what Eve said? How would you translate that into today? Because that right there also is another blueprint for the sisters that we see in the world today. Bakar?
Basically, she acknowledged that she was tricked by, you know what I'm saying, a serpent or whatever, he conned her or a sweet talker. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much. And the women today, they are sucker for the Christian church. You know what I'm saying? Who, like the pastor, who sweet talk them into, you know, keeping the man and children and all that into church. And as well as, you know, the government, you know, pretty much beguiling them into kicking a man out the household. Right. Telling them, you know, put them on child support. You know, or America telling your woman that independence, right, feminism, all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? She's easily beguiled by these things that we see today. You know what I'm saying? She's doing the same thing that Eve did, being tricked out of her own culture, and you know, what the Most High intended her to do. Right. And that's it right there. You know what I'm saying? And the sister said, women today are easily convinced due to flattery and stuff of that nature. And what she said is true. And you know why that is? We just read it. You get my point? If for any sister who wants to know why it is that they easily gassed up, this is why. You know what I'm saying? You can thank Eve for your simplicity. You get my point? So everything that you touched on was correct, Bakar. I want to piggyback on that, right? The other thing is what she did was, I got played, or he tricked me, or I listened to my cousin, or I listened to my auntie, or whatever the case may be. Because these are all the things that are done today. You let somebody get in your ear, you know what I'm saying? And even if it's your auntie or your cousin or whatever, you know what I'm saying? They have the spirit of the serpent. If they're telling you to do anything that's against the Most High, you know what I'm saying? You may as well look at them as the serpent themselves. You get my point? Whether it's your auntie, your grandmother, you know what I'm saying? Your best friend. You get my point? Whatever the case may be, you know what I'm saying? A lot of these decisions that are being made by these sisters are made by somebody else being in their ear, and them taking heed to what whoever's put in their ear versus who it is that they're supposed to be listening to. You get what I'm saying? I mean, you see it all the time. I mean, I hate using this movie as an example because of how evil and wicked that movie was. But if you look at white chicks, right,
and you look at I forget Marlon's character's name, but if you look at his wife, you get what I'm saying? And when she tried to use the credit card and all that, you know, he was going and all this other kind of stuff. It was her homegirl that was putting all that stuff in her head. You get what I'm saying? It was her that did all that. Once she put that into her head, it was a wrap from there. You get what I'm saying? Once a sister lets, you know what I'm saying, somebody get up in here, it's pretty much over with. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes a sister could be a victim to her own thoughts. A sister has the ability to make up shit on their own. You get my point? And they'll take that and run with it. And you trying to figure out why they mad, and it's because they didn't cook something up in their head, and it don't even have to be true. But because they convinced themselves that it's true, you get what I'm saying? They mad. You get what I'm saying? And all that comes from Eve allowing that serpent to gas her up. You get my point? And so that's why we went through all these verses, because we saw the rebellion in verse 6, I believe it was. You get what I'm saying? But we went to 13 because I wanted everybody to see, you know what I'm saying, how Adam and Eve set the precedent for the mindset, you know what I mean, in the way we operate as a nation today. Now, everything I said right now has nothing to do with anybody that's sitting in this class or that's sitting at home watching this tape. It doesn't apply to them. But as a nation, this stuff applies. You get my point? So that's one example right there. All right. Let's drop that. Let me get Genesis chapter 4, verse 1. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna stay right there in Genesis, man. We're gonna go over to 4 and 1 real quick.
The book of Genesis, chapter 4, verse 1.
Shoot it.
And Adam knew Eve, his wife,
and
she conceived and bare Cain, and said, I have gotten a man from the Lord. Verse 2, and she again bare his brother Abel, and Abel was a keeper of sheep, but Cain was a tiller of the ground. Verse 3, and in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought up the fruit of the ground and offering unto the Lord.
He brought what?
Fruit of the ground and offering unto the Lord.
An offering unto the Lord. That part is important. Keep going.
Verse 4, and Abel, he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and to his offering.
Let's stop right there. So why is that part important? What did Cain and Abel do? Bakar?
They kept the laws.
That's it. That's what I wanted everybody to see. You see what I'm saying? The reason why I wanted to stop there and point that out is because you got some people out there. And I'm saying out there for a reason, because we don't think that in here. But out there, they believe that there were no laws until the Most High gave them to Moses, and Moses wrote them down. This right here is an example that even before it was written down, we had the law. What's another example? Before Moses, what's another example? Bakar?
Talking about Abraham with the tithes?
That's true too.
Or Noah with the
that's a good one.
Unclean animal.
That's an excellent one. There's another one too, though. Everything you said is correct. Yeah, because they were written down by Moses.
Right, no,
so you see what I'm saying? So who else knew what time it was?
Adam.
That's the answer I was looking for.
Well, I'm trying to think like what was actually written that Adam did that made it like clear that he was following the law.
When you go back and you read where it said that the Lord brought him up out the dust. You get my point? So it started with him.
Right.
Now, prior to him, you know what I'm saying, Adam was living, you know, like an animal, basically. You know what I'm saying? But it took for the Lord to bring him out the dust, bring him from a
low state.
Exactly. You get what I'm saying? And so what Adam did was he passed it down to his sons. How do you know? Because we just read it. The reason why I was looking for Adam, even though everything Bakar said was correct, the reason why I was looking for Adam is because we had just read it. So that's why I thought, you know what I'm saying? You would go right there because we just got done reading how Adam and Eve knew what time it was before it was written down. You get what I'm saying? Keep reading. Verse 4, please.
And Abel, he also brought up the firstling of his flock. I always read that. Verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
But unto Cain, to his offering, he had no respect.
He had what?
He had no respect. And Cain was very wroth, and his countenance fell. Verse 6.
Mm-hmm.
And the Lord said unto Cain, why art thou wroth? And why is thy countenance fallen?
Let's stop right there if I could. Yeah, we're gonna definitely because just all because of all the stops. This part right here is funny. How do you know that Esau comes from Cain and that Esau had the spirit of Cain? How do you know? What just think about what we just read. All right.
His brother. He's jealous of his brother.
That's true, but even before we get to that part though, think about what we just read. Bakar?
Because he pretty much was sad about, like when Esau was sad that he didn't have a blessing. You know what I'm saying? He got kind of like down the same way Cain got down and the Most High didn't respect his offer. That's true.
Give me some more. Like bring me home though. You're right. All right.
Because Abel and Jacob have favor in the Most High, from the Most High, and Cain and Esau don't.
Those are good parallels as well. But boy, on Bakar's point, because he got mad. Like that's Esau. Like he's mad for something he did. That's the part that I wanted you to point out. You get what I'm saying? Nobody told him to get that whack ass offering. He did that on his own. You get my point? Go ahead.
Question on that. So the fact that he was a farmer and with like vegetables or whatever, what should he have offered if he didn't deal with animals?
He could have used those. You want to answer?
I remember the general going over.
Go ahead.
He was saying it was because it wasn't the best of his vegetables. He kept that for himself. Like he just gave him the vegetables with blemishes and stuff like that on it. And he kept the good ones for himself.
Say that in the Bible?
I don't remember. But when you read it, when you go up to when you go to 3, when you read 3, and it says in the process, when it came to pass, Cain brought of the fruit of the ground and offering unto the Lord. But when you read about Abel,
he brought the first. Right.
You see the difference.
Yeah, they describe it.
So you get my point. Yeah. So Abel just said, Cain, oh man, let me go and make this sacrifice. Let me go and make this offering. You get my point. He gave him, so hey, I did my part. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? Abel on the other hand, like, man, this is for the Lord, man. I'm finna give my best. You get my point? And so the reason why I stopped right there is because Esau loves playing the victim when he's the one at fault for everything that's happening to him. You get my point? Since the Esau is wroth or angry like Cain, that's correct. He didn't give his best crop. So the sisters on it as well. You get my point? But I just want to start because when I read this, I thought that part was funny because again, nobody made Cain give the offering that he gave. He chose it on his own, but yet he was mad when the Lord wasn't pleased with his offering. You know what I'm saying? As if it was somebody else's fault. You get my point? And this right here is the Lord cutting Cain right here in verse 7. Read verse 7 real quick.
Verse 7. If thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted?
You see what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And if thou doest not well, sin lieth at the door.
You get my point? So the Lord is cutting him right there. When you read the first part, if thou doest well, shalt thou not be accepted? Lord is telling you, you know what I'm saying? Had you done right, I would have been pleased with you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You chose to do wrong. So why should I be proud of you when I know that you did wrong by me? I'm the Most High. You gonna give me that? You know what I'm saying? You gonna keep the best for yourself when I'm the reason why you got any of it? You get my point? And so when you read that right there, that also goes to show you another example of what? When it comes to Cain, What did Cain show you?
Rebellion?
Yeah, Cain was rebellious. You see what I'm saying? Why? Because he gave an offering, but he didn't do what the Lord told him to do.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? And then, of course, as you read, and we won't, but as you read further down in the story of Cain and Abel, you know what I'm saying? What you know what I'm saying? How else was Cain rebellious, or another act of rebellion against the Lord? All right, killed his brother. You get what I'm saying? So Cain was full of rebellion, just like you get what I'm saying? Which again, this Bible tells you everything that you need to know. You'll end up peeping out stuff, like you'll get like, damn, I didn't even think about that part. You get what I'm saying? So as you get to reading certain stuff, some of the stuff we ain't read in a while. So you're like, oh damn, I didn't even think about it like that. You know what I'm saying? And it'll add another wrinkle to it. You see what I'm saying? So as you go back and you start reading about Cain, and you read about Esau, and you look at the characteristics of the so-called white man today, it fits him to a T. You get my point? Like so for people to this day to still not believe who Esau is because you don't want to. Right. When it's all said, just like General Behind was saying earlier, it's not that you can't understand, it's that you don't want to understand. Right. You get my point? Your love for Esau is why you can't accept Esau as being this, you know what I'm saying, the most subtle beast of the field, or being the devil that the Bible speaks of, because of your love for him. You get my point? Let's drop that. Let's go to 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 1. Again, based on the topic of tonight's class, you know what I'm saying, you'll understand where we're going with this as well. You understand? Let's get that. 2 Samuel chapter 6. And we're gonna start at verse 1. I told you it's gonna be you know what I'm saying, this class is gonna be, you know what I'm saying, a little heavy as far as like the amount of verses. So it's not a whole bunch of different scriptures, you know what I'm saying, but it's a lot of verses, because there's several storylines throughout these scriptures that we're going over. So again, I'm gonna try to get through it in one class, but if not, you know what I'm saying, I'll definitely carry it over into next week's class, just because I'm trying to you know what I'm saying, show you know what I'm saying, show once again that we come from the bloodline of the people that we're reading about in this book. You understand? So let's get it. 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 1.
Oh God, this is the book of 2 Samuel chapter 6, verse 1. Again, David gathered together all the chosen men of Israel, 30,000. And David arose and went with all the people that were with him from Baal of Judah, to bring up from thence the ark of God, whose name is called by the name of the Lord of hosts, that dwelleth between the cherubs. Cherubim. Verse 3. And they set the ark of God upon a new cart, and brought it out of the house of Abinadab, that was in Gibeah, and Uzzah and Ahio, the sons of Abinadab, drave the new cart.
Okay, so now, what is the ark? What is the ark of God talking about?
You said what ark are they talking about?
What is the ark of God that they're talking about in 2 Samuel?
They're talking about the ark of the covenant.
That's exactly what it's talking about. It's calling it the ark of God, and as we continue to read, you'll understand. Keep reading.
God, verse 4. Oh no, verse 5. So verse 5. And David and all the house of Israel played before the Lord on all manner of instruments made of fir wood, even on harps, and on psalteries, and on timbrels, and on cornets, and on cymbals. And when they came to Nachon's threshing floor, Uzzah put forth his hand to the ark of God and took hold of it, for the oxen shook it. And the anger of the Lord was kindled against Uzzah, and God smote him there for his error, and there he died by the ark of God. So let's stop right there. So, okay, what did Uzzah do
You know what I'm saying? As to why it is that he was punished. All right.
He touched the heart.
You see what I'm saying? And for those that don't know, you know what I'm saying, the Ark of the Covenant was only allowed to be touched by certain men. Right. You get my point? And he knew that. You get what I'm saying? But he did it anyway. You get what I'm saying? That's why the Lord dealt with him. You get what I'm saying? And the reason why that's so important is because this brother knew that he wasn't supposed to touch. It's like he knew he wasn't supposed to touch the Ark of the Covenant. You know what I'm saying? But he did it anyway. Which goes to show you that this brother was being rebellious. You get my point? That's the common theme that I'm trying to show you. So we went through Genesis. Now we all the way in 2 Samuel. You get my point? Just gave you another example. You know what I'm saying? Of you know what I'm saying? Brothers being rebellious. You know what I'm saying? If we want to know as a nation why it is that we are the way we are today as a nation, is because all we're doing is we're just following the footsteps of our forefathers and our foremothers. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not trying to take this time to bash our forefathers or our foremothers, because without them we wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not taking nothing from that. The point of the matter is, you know what I'm saying, what I'm trying to show is that there has been a pattern of rebellion and disobedience all the way back here. So it shouldn't be a surprise today when it's like, damn, why don't they understand? Why that we go on these street corners and putting our lives on the line? You know what I mean? We passing our flies in 100-degree weather. You get my point? Why we doing this and we putting ourselves through this, and yet they don't want to hear what we're talking about. You get what I'm saying? This is why. You get what I'm saying? So from there, let me get Joshua chapter 7, and we're gonna start at verse 1. We're gonna read Joshua chapter 7, verses 1 through 7, and we're gonna drop down to verses 10 and 11. Y'all will understand. You know, like I say, for time's sake, you know what I'm saying, we're not gonna read all of these, but if you want to, I mean, this right here, Joshua the 7th chapter and a little bit of the 8th chapter is actually a class in itself. And if you know what I'm saying, when you read the whole chapter, but for time's sake, because of the topic, you know what I mean, we won't read the whole chapter, but we'll read some verses of it to further drive the point home. You understand?
The book of Joshua, chapter 7, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
But the children of Israel committed a trespass.
Did what?
Committed a trespass in the accursed thing. For Achim, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabi, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah. From the tribe of what? Tribe of Judah.
Listen, man. For time's sake, I'm not really going, you know what I'm saying, spend too much time speaking on the tribe of Judah. But another thing that this is showing you is showing you his registry. You know what I mean? It's showing you his lineage. You get my point? But it all goes back to the tribe of Judah. You get what I'm saying? Keep reading, please.
Took of the accursed thing, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. So what is the accursed thing? Is it going to talk about it, or
where at?
Where it says accursed thing? What is that?
I don't want to. Actually, it's like he is going to go into it.
Verse 2, and Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is beside Bethlehem, on the east side of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, Go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai. Verse 3, and they returned to Joshua and said unto him, Let not all the people go up, but let about 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai, and make not all the people to labor thither. for they are but few.
So what's going? So okay, so what's happening here, right? I'll give it to y'all. So Joshua sent some men to go take this land, right? Because that's what we do. We take ground, right? Which is again, you want to see UPK in the Bible. So we take ground. We go to different cities. We take it over. Right. Just like we doing in Las Vegas. You get my point? Just like we did in Southern California, DC, all over Ohio. Y'all get the point, right? So now, because the fact that Joshua is so used to us kicking so much ass, he said, "No, we just gonna send this many brothers down there and go put that work in." This is what you're reading in these first few verses. You know what I'm saying? Joshua sent his men to go conquer some more land, go take over some more territory. That's what's happening here. All right, keep reading.
So verse 3, right?
No.
Oh, so verse 4. So there went up thither the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. So
at the end of verse 3, let me read this part again. It said, "And make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few." In other words, meaning the men down there, it wasn't that many of them. You know what I'm saying? So Joshua like, man, I don't need to send the whole squad because this is light work. You know what I'm saying? Because again, Joshua was used to whooping ass. So he figured, man, I don't need to send all y'all down there because we're going to go down here. We're going to handle this business. You know what I'm saying? We're going to take over and that's that. You know what I'm saying? Read verse 5.
Come on. And the men of Ai smote them.
He did what?
Smote of them. About 36 men.
How many?
36 men.
Why is that so important?
It was less than the men about the Salaki. Hold on. So in verse 4, 3,000 men went up there from us. So it was only 36 people that killed 3,000 of our men.
Keep reading. Exactly. You'll see that, but you're correct.
Right?
Yes, exactly. Keep reading.
And the men of Ai smote them about 36 men. For they chased them from before the gate even unto Shebarim, and smote them in the going down. Wherefore the hearts of the people melted and became as water. You get what I'm saying?
So in other words, Joshua, full of confidence, because this is what they did at that time, he didn't even send all the men. You know what I'm saying? You ready? He said, but it's only but few. Sent the men down there. The men went down there with confidence, and they went down there and they got their asses kicked. You get my point? They was running up out of there. You get what I'm saying? It's like I wouldn't equate it to that, but it's like if you just think about it, like you look at when you was in the world, like, oh man, it's way more than it is them, and you know what I'm saying, you want to be on some tough guy shit. You know what I'm saying? You looking at it ain't as many as them, so you figure you finna go down there and you finna wear them dudes out. You go down there and you know what I'm saying, and you end up getting dealt with. You know what I mean? Like the Kentucky 8. You get what I'm saying? It was only 8 brothers. But it was a gang of them. And they thought because it was only a few of them that they was going to go ahead and handle their business. You get what I'm saying? So now, based on what we just read and based on the Kentucky 8 example, what do both examples have in common? What can you take from that? Joshua's men and the men that came up against the Kentucky 8. All right?
The Lord was with the Kentucky 8.
That's it. And the Lord was not
with Joshua.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? That's the proof. They got served by 36 cats. You get my point? And they sent them dudes running. You get what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Verse 6. And Joshua rent his clothes and fell to the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until the eventide. He and the elders of Israel and put dust upon their head.
Why did Joshua do that? What is that a sign of?
Mourning?
Yes, it's exactly what it was. That's why he tore his clothes, you know what I mean, and put the dust because they were in mourning. You get my point? That's what we did. You get what I'm saying? Like, once again, you look at us, if something like that happens, you know what I'm saying? It's the first thing we do. We get to grabbing that clothes, you get to, you piss, you know what I'm saying? And you fall down sometimes to your knees and just you're in pain, you're hurt, you're angry, you got all these different things going on, you know what I'm saying? And you're in a low state. You get my point? You're in mourning. That's exactly what happened with Joshua and in the leaders of Israel. Keep reading.
Verse 7. And Joshua said, Alas, O Lord God, wherefore hast thou at all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites, to destroy us? Would to God we have been content and dwelt on the other side of Jordan.
Does anybody understand what Joshua was just saying right now? What happened there? All right.
Kind of like we were like during the Exodus, when the people were just like, "Why even take us out of Egypt and put us through this hardship? Like, we'd be better off just to stay in Egypt." And that's basically what he said.
Joshua's pissed because he's like, "Hey man, like, why'd you have us come over?" Because read where he said, "What to God we have been content and dwelt on the other side of Jordan." In other words, we was cool over there. Did you know what I'm saying? You sent over here to get slaughtered? Like, what's the deal? You get my point? That's what Joshua trying to figure out what the hell happened, because again, Joshua's used to winning. You get what I'm saying? Drop down to verse 10.
Verse 10. And the Lord said unto Joshua, Get thee up. Wherefore liest thou thus upon thy face?
You know what I'm saying? The Lord checked his ass. Get your ass up is what he told him. Get up. You know what I'm saying? Get your face up off the ground and get up. Right? Keep reading.
Verse 11. Israel hath sinned.
Read it again.
Israel hath sinned.
Read it again.
Israel hath sinned. And they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded thee.
Which I asked them.
Which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing. And they have also stolen.
They have done what?
And have also stolen. And disassembled also. And they have put it even among their own stuff.
You get what I'm saying? So I had said that as we read on, you get what I'm saying, it'll tell you what the cursed thing is, but we'd have to keep reading, but for time's sake, you know what I'm saying, the cursed thing is like an idol. You get what I'm saying? Something that belongs to the heathens. Right. You get what I'm saying? As you read the rest of the chapter, that's why I'm saying, like, this right here, this whole chapter, you know what I'm saying, is like something that you can teach on and come from a whole nother angle, because this 7th chapter and going into the 8th chapter is heavy as hell, right? But the thing, but what the Lord is telling Joshua, because Joshua, like, he getting at the Lord, like, hey man, like, did you set us up or something? Like, what's the deal? That's what the Lord, like, look at your ass up. Like, nah, look at the Israel sin. That's why y'all got your ass whooped. You get my point? And so what the Lord is telling them is, you know what I'm saying, have even taken a cursed thing, which a cursed thing would be anything pertaining to the heathens. You get what I'm saying? It said, and have stolen. You get my point? And disassemble also and have put it away amongst their own stuff. So in other words, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it'll still be better to read it, of course, but the bottom line is, you know what I'm saying, somebody amongst the army went and wasn't supposed to touch nothing and went in there and got to touch no shit. Not only did he touch it, but he actually brought it back.
Is this leading into the story where they killed him and his family?
Yeah, kind of. So all this, and the reason why we went here, even though, like I said, you can go into a whole nother breakdown with this chapter. But for this class, we read this because I was trying to show y'all what? Because exactly. You get what I'm saying? Somebody in the nation decided to rebel against the Most High, and his rebellion, you know what I'm saying, him being hard-headed, you know what I'm saying, caused the nation to fall. Because of one man's greed, because of one man's selfishness, you get what I'm saying, a whole army got served up by a smaller army, which makes it even worse. That's how you know the Lord wasn't with him. You know what I'm saying? If it would have said that Joshua sent 3,000 men and the Amorites had 50,000 men, it was like, you know what I'm saying? Make a little bit more sense, even though we could win that battle too. You get what I'm saying? But it was 30-6, which that's not an accurate number because we already know it's just basically it's lesser than what Joshua sent. You get my point? And because of this man's rebellion, you get my point, it caused thousands of lives to be lost. Husbands taken away, brothers taken away, sons taken away. You know what I'm saying? Sisters say Israel rebelled. That's exactly what happened. So for this particular class, that's the moral of what we're reading right now. But again, you know what I'm saying, I urge brothers to read this chapter. And like I said, I you know what I'm saying, I actually taught this chapter before, you know what I'm saying, on a whole, from a whole nother angle, you know what I'm saying, but it all ties in. You get my point? So the thing about it is, what this is showing you is when you sin against the Most High, like we've mentioned in classes before, when you sin against the Most High, you get my point, sometimes the consequences might not hit you directly off top. What you do has an effect on the brother next to you or the sister behind you. You get what I'm saying? He destroyed a whole army because he wanted to be rebellious. You see what I'm saying? The Lord was not with them because of one brother. You know what I'm saying? So when you fast forward to today, how does this right here tie into today? Think about what we read in 11. That's why I want you to focus on. Think about 11 and think about how we was talking about selfishness and all these things and tie that into today. How would you tie those in? All right?
Christian pastors, fake Israelites.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? Because they have taken the accursed thing. You know what I'm saying? They are stealing. The accursed thing is the Christianity.
Right. Is
the Islam. You know what I'm saying? Is the Black Lives Matter. Is the God loves everybody like what's his name? Camzilla? I think that was the name. Either way, but you get the point though. You get what I'm saying? That's the accursed thing. You see what I'm saying? The accursed thing is a false image or something that belongs to the heathens. You know what I'm saying? What are they stealing? They're stealing our money. And in the process of that, they're allowing these heathens to steal our identity. And because of their selfishness and because of their greed, we're destroyed as a nation. You get what I'm saying? So for every TD Jakes or Creflo dollar, there's a George Floyd or Atiana Jefferson. You get my point? We dying in the streets because of the selfishness and the greed of our so-called leaders. You understand? And they both have something in common. You know what I'm saying? That we've been reading throughout these scriptures so far in this class. You know what I'm saying? They have the spirit of rebellion. You get my point? So let's drop that. Let me get 1 Samuel's. How are we looking on time? Okay. Let me get 1 Samuel chapter 15 and start at verse 2, please.
The book of 1 Samuel, chapter 15, verse 2.
And if I could real quick, and it's funny because as I was listening to this, as I was preparing this class earlier, when I heard General Muhammad go into it, somebody asked about it in class. I'm like, damn. You know what I'm saying? It almost made me want to take it out of the breakdown. But again, because of the context, you get what I'm saying? I kept it in there anyway. But of course, you know what I'm saying? What we finna do right here, you know what I'm saying? Can't touch what General Muhammad did earlier, you know what I'm saying? But Lord willing, you know what I'm saying? The breakdown still serves its purpose. You get my point? Because the way he broke it down earlier was exceptional. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna go into it a little bit, but again, you'll see the theme as we read these verses. All right, go ahead.
Thus saith the Lord of hosts. I remember that which Amalek did to Israel. How he laid in wait for him in the way when he came up from Egypt. You
see what I'm saying? And if I could real quick, that right there is exactly what you saw with the so-called Haitians. You get my point? Laid in wait. You know what I'm saying? It didn't matter if they was old or young, if they were sick or healthy. You know what I'm saying? He destroyed them all. You know what I'm saying? And put them to shame. You get my point? So again, to go to show you that the same way that we come from a certain bloodline, the so-called white man come from a certain bloodline as well. You see what I'm saying? Keep reading.
Now go in verse 3. Now go and smite Ammon.
Have mercy on.
Go and smite Ammon.
Get along with.
go and smite Amalek, and utterly destroy all that they have.
And do what?
Utterly destroy all that they have.
Does that sound like love? You get what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And spare them not.
And do what?
And spare them not.
I mean, listen, man, we reading that this 2 Samuel, or if it's like this 1 Samuel, the 15th chapter for Camzilla. Keep reading.
But slay both man and woman.
Do what?
But slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass.
Listen, man. I mean, the Lord ain't playing no games. So once again, when you go back to the scripture you pulled or you paraphrased earlier, the Lord is a man of war. You want proof? This right here is one of many examples that we can give. You get what I'm saying? So as you read verse 3, what is the Lord telling you to do? Bakar?
Man, kill everybody.
Have no what?
Have no mercy.
That's what I want you to say right there. You know what I'm saying? Kill everything. Now, does that sound like a God that's all about love? You know what I'm saying? He's telling them. And then what's even more heavier when you read verse 2, right? What does the Lord have?
Vengeance.
That's true. What and how
he has a memory.
That's it right there. And he has a love for his people. You see what I'm saying? So that's what you in those 2 verses, we're just able to unpack all of that. You get what I'm saying? The Lord does not forget when someone commits a crime against his people. This is why COVID is still running rampant and why there's all these different variants and why the stock market crashes and why, you know what I'm saying, all these different things are going on in the world, because that's the Lord, you know what I'm saying, punishing Esau, punishing Amalek, punishing Ishmael. You know, and I go on and on. Y'all get the point. Moab and Ammon. He's punishing them for the crimes that they've committed, as we're reading right here, in the crimes that they're committing against the Lord's chosen people. You understand me? Keep reading.
Verse 4. And Saul gathered the people together and numbered them in Telaim. 200,000 footmen and 10,000 men of Judah. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And Saul said unto the Kenites.
It's like stop right there. I mean, this on the left hand side, and I don't even mean to laugh. It just, again, just to go to show you, you know what I'm saying, that we come from the bloodline of those people, especially when it mentioned Judah. Read verse 5 again. And Saul came to a city of Amalek and laid wait in the valley. And he did what? Laid wait in the valley. Y'all understand where I'm going with that, right? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? You go, if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch Boys in the Hood, A Menace to Society. And again, I'm not praising that way of life. You get my point? Yeah. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to see. You understand? Never glorifying that way of life. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading. And Saul said unto the Kenites, go depart, get you down from among the Amalekites, lest I destroy you with them. Lest he do what? Destroy you with them. Man, listen, man, that right there was some gangster shit right there. He gave a pass, but he also gave him a warning at the same time. He took, so this is a whole other different people, right? From the Amalekites. Right. Kenites. Right. He told them, like, get the hell out the way. Listen, man, if you don't want to get served up, you know what I'm saying, get your ass up out of here. You know what I'm saying? When I read this, again, when I read this, it reminded me of that part. And as y'all can see, I watch movies, but it reminded me of that part in Players Club. Yeah. Hey, all right, now, go ahead, McCart. Go ahead. Break it down. Break it down. And he said, I forgot, he's like, if you don't want to die, get the fuck down. Yeah. It was in slow motion. Yeah. If anybody in here that don't want to get murdered, get them. It was like in slow motion, and then that doc was like, you heard that? Because he was talking to the waiter. He was like, you heard that? She's like, nah. She said he's chilling. Next thing you know, he tried to warn their ass. He came up in there in the wheelchair. Right. He tried to give him a warning. He was given a pass. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I mean, again, that's on the left hand side, of course. I'm just again constantly showing y'all. You know what I'm saying? Where we come from. You get my point? But when that's what came to mind. You know what I'm saying? He you know what I'm saying? Like, he warned him. He gave a little pat. Hey man, listen, man, if you ain't trying to get done up like I'm finna do these cats, man, you might want to get up out of here. You get what I'm saying? Keep reading.
For ye showed kindness to all the children of Israel when they came up out of Egypt.
So he gave him a pass. You get what I'm saying? Showed us a little love, we're gonna show you some love.
So
Uh-huh.
Keep going.
Please.
So the Kenites departed from among the Amalekites.
Which go to show you what, man. We finna save our own that. Damn them how do you say Amalekites?
Yeah,
damn what they got going on. Listen, man, y'all, we function with y'all, but we ain't finna die. We don't fuck with y'all like that. You get my point? Keep reading.
And Saul smote the Amalekites from Havilah until thou comest to Shur, that is over against Egypt.
And real quick before you keep reading, so we all know who Amalek is, right? Tell them who it is, Bakar.
It's the so-called fake Jewish man.
Right. And the reason why I had you say it, because we know who it is, but for those who might be watching our class for the first time, they might not know who Amalek is. You get my point? But so you know what I'm saying? Amalek is the so-called Jew, the Ashkenazi, and all that other nonsense that they go by. You get what I'm saying? So like, keep reading though.
Verse 8. He took Agag, the king, the king of the Amalekites, alive, and utterly destroyed all the people with the edge of the sword. But Saul and the people spared Agag, and the best of the sheep, and of the oxen, and of the fattens of the lambs, all that was good, and will not utterly destroy them. Everything that was vile and refused, that they destroyed utterly.
See, y'all, I want y'all to remember that. All right, it says here, but it says spared the best of the sheep and the oxen and all that was good, and would not utterly destroy them, and everything that was vile and refuse. With other words, all the trash, all the leftovers, he destroyed that, but the good stuff he kept. I want y'all to remember that part. All right, keep reading.
Then verse 10. Then came the word of the Lord unto Samuel, saying, verse 11, it repented me that I have set up Saul to be king, for he has turned back from following me, and have not performed my commandments. And it grieved Samuel, and he cried unto the Lord all night. And
that part right there is heavy, man, because Samuel was a brother. You get my point? And so the Most High, again, I know y'all watched this class earlier, so I'm not gonna spend too much time on it. You know what I'm saying? The Most High said, man, I regret making Saul the king. You know what I'm saying? Because he turned back from following me, and he have not performed my commandments. You know what I'm saying? Listen, remember, we want to lock in on that part, right? And so he said, and it grieved Samuel. You get my point? Samuel was sad. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, Saul is his brother. You get my point? For time's sake, drop down to verse 17.
Come. And Samuel said, when thou wast little in thy own sight, wast thou not made head of the tribe of Israel, and the Lord anointed thee king over Israel.
That part right there is heavy because Samuel's he's getting at Saul. You know what I'm saying? The earlier verse will tell you that's why he was grieved, because he knew he had to go tell Saul what the get down was. You get my point? But he's telling them, you know what I'm saying? When you was little on your own sight, meaning when you wasn't the dude that you are today, you know what I'm saying? You was made king of all the tribes. You get what I'm saying? He's acting. He said, and the Lord anointed thee king over Israel. He's acting. You know what I'm saying? Keep reading.
And verse 18. And the Lord sent thee on a journey and said, go and utterly destroy the sinners, the Amalekites, and fight against them until they be consumed. Verse 19. Wherefore then didst thou not obey the voice of the Lord, but didst fly upon the spoil, and didst evil in the sight of the Lord.
You see what I'm saying? So this is Samuel. Basically, how would we say it today? What is Samuel doing to Saul? Car?
He's pretty much checking him, like, you know what I'm saying, letting him know, like, you had a mission. You know what I'm saying? You didn't do what the hell the Most High told you to do. Like, you had one job to do. So,
yeah,
one damn job to do, and you failed to do it, and that's the anger of the Lord.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying? And I asked that for a reason, right? Even someone as great as Saul was chastised or corrected, or like we say today in the UPK, Saul got checked. So my point in saying that is, you know what I'm saying? take the checking, man. You know what I mean? If you did something that required you to be checked, just take it. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's telling you to like it. You get what I'm saying? But if nothing else, you should appreciate it. Why? Because if someone's getting at you for something that you did or didn't do that you knew you were supposed to do, that means that they care. You get what I'm saying? Not only that, but they also remind you, hey man, you're capable of doing these things. Or you know better. Why would you do that stupid shit? Like, come on, man. What are you doing? Why would you do that? You get what I'm saying? That's love, but at the same time, it's correction as well. Because you know better. Like this that I'm telling you, I shouldn't have to tell you. You get my point? And so this is what Samuel doing the song, and it grieved him. We just read it. It grieved him because he did, you know what I'm saying? It hurt him because this is the king of Israel. You get what I'm saying? He sinned against the Lord. You get my point? And so, I mean, it was way more that could have been read, like, you know what I'm saying? But we skipped the verse 17 and read the 19 for a reason, right? You will sum all that up, you know what I'm saying? For when you read those 2 to 11 and 17 to 19, you see what Saul did. Saul was what? All right. He was rebellious against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? That was an act of rebellion. You get what I'm saying? That was an act of rebellion against the Lord. And because of that, the Amalekites lived. At least, well, I don't want to give it away just in case brothers want to go back and read it. But the point of the matter is, you get what I'm saying? It's two things that's very important in what we just read. You get my point? Two things that I'm gonna speak for time's sake that I want to speak on that's important. One, you know what I'm saying? Never supposed to rebel against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Or even if you not saying we the Lord and nothing like that, we are the men of the Lord for sure. You know what I'm saying? But you don't want to rebel against the Lord. You know what I'm saying? The Lord tell you to do something, you do it. He tell you not to do something, you don't do it. You get what I'm saying? Us not listening to the Lord, once again, is why we're in the condition that we're in today. That spirit of rebellion is why we're in this condition we're in today. You know what I'm saying? And I keep driving that point home because that's the whole theme of this class. You know what I'm saying? We are a rebellious nation. You get my point? And I'm not going to go into it too much deeper for time's sake. You know what I'm saying? We'll carry this over into next week. I'm going to put a check mark next to it so I don't forget where we left off. But so one, you know what I'm saying? You don't want to be rebellious against the Lord. You know what I mean? And the other thing is how you know what I'm saying, which goes hand in hand, is follow orders, man. You get my point? If you a sister, you know what I'm saying, and you married to a brother, you know what I'm saying? If you married to a brother in the world, you know what I'm saying, you follow his orders that are on the right hand side. Meaning what? Don't say, well, you told me to follow my husband. Don't use that as an excuse to go hit a lick. Don't do that. Or he tell you the light's finna get cut off, so you know what I'm saying, I need you to go on the stroll and you know what I'm saying, go do your thing. Like, nah, don't follow that. You get my point? If you do that, you're doing it because you want to. You're not gonna use them as an excuse. Well, I'm just listening to my head. Like, nah, that's something that you want to do anyway. You get my point? And as a brother, you know what I'm saying, you'll learn to follow orders. You get what I'm saying? Because life is all about following orders. And when you don't follow orders, you know what I'm saying, you're being rebellious. And the crazy thing about that is that when it comes to your slavery, you follow orders. When it comes to the laws of the land, you follow orders. Me personally, I you know what I'm saying, ain't been around nobody that don't ride with their seatbelt on. Even though it might be uncomfortable, it might be too tight, whatever the case may be, you put that seatbelt on. You get what I'm saying? You're on the road, you speed a little bit, but you ain't out here, you know what I'm saying, over the top with it. You get what I'm saying? If you're told to be at the state by a certain time, you might be a couple minutes late, but you ain't finna be over the top with it. And if you are, you finna come up with some, and you know what I'm saying, what you think is a good ass excuse, but in reality, it's a real lame ass excuse. Is really what it is, because you're lying. You coming up with some, you know what I'm saying, something gay, you know what I'm saying, that you can pass on, thinking that you getting one over, not knowing that they sitting there, you know what I'm saying, putting it in your file all the time that you been late, and probably wrote down how many times you didn't use that same lame ass excuse. You get my point? But the fact of the matter is, you know what I'm saying, you're not going to just be laid in short like, I'm here, what's happening? You get my point? You're going to hit them with some kind of drag. Why? Because you don't want to rebel against the slave master. You get my point? Well, that same mentality that they have when it comes to the slave master and not want to rebel against the slave master, that's supposed to be your mentality times 10 when it comes to serving the Lord. You see what I'm saying? Christ died for us to have an opportunity to be here. You get what I'm saying? And we owe it to Christ to not rebel against Christ. We owe it to Christ to live like he would live if he was still here right now. That's the least we could do. For what he did for us, you know what I'm saying, what the Most High is doing for us to this day. Every day we wake up, you know what I'm saying, that's a gift from the Lord telling us, giving us another chance to get right with him before he come back and destroy this place. You understand me? That's the mentality that we're supposed to have. And we're supposed to live it. We supposed to live every day like, man, and the Lord have mercy on me, man, because I know I was a wicked nigga. And I know I should have been doing that. But the Lord gave me one more day, you know what I'm saying, to fight off that drug addiction. The Lord gave me one more day to get off that stripper pole. You understand? The Lord gave me one more day, you know what I'm saying, to stay up out them crack houses. You know what I'm saying? To leave them white women alone or whatever the case may be. You get what I'm saying? And that's how we're supposed to take these opportunities, man. Because you got to think about it. Every day that the Lord gives us, you know what I'm saying, it's mercy from the Lord, but also remember that we're one day closer to the end. You get what I'm saying? For all we know, and I'm not saying that this is what's getting ready to go down. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, for all we know, Christ could come back tonight. For all we know. Because nobody knows. You know what I'm saying? Scripture said like a thief in the night. You get my point? And so with that knowledge, would you not want to make sure that you living right by the Lord? Would you not want to make sure that you live in the way Christ would live if he was still here? And the only reason why he's not here is because of a nigga like you? You get what I'm saying? That should be the mindset. And so if you're living, giving your life to the Lord and giving yourselves as a sacrifice to the Lord, you know what I'm saying? And you're living and you're grateful for the opportunity and the mercy that the Lord had on you, and you're like, damn, man, Christ died, man, and Christ didn't do nothing wrong, man. He died, man, so I can have this opportunity. What spirit are you not gonna have on you? All right. You see what I'm saying? And with that, pass the preaching officer, all right.
This is the ISUPK security announcements. We are the ISUPK, started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. Rule for new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They're to be saluted only. They're here to shed themselves of the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There's another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment, to be found in the book of Numbers, chapter 18, verse 21, and the book of Malachi, chapter 3, verses 8 through 10. Ma'asharah, which means tenth in the Hebrew, 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, it's a free will offering for priests. It's not mandatory, and it could be whatsoever amount you would like. Upholy convocation, make sure that you check your respective school's bulletin board. If anyone wants to be a trooper in the school, to start wearing all black, boots, shirt, pants, headband, and scarf. And with that, men of Israel and Majum, we're going to give one courtesy salute to the teacher. Majum, stand. Men of Israel, Majum Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Shim Yahshua Barakatah. Men of Israel, sorry, which means to turn. We're going to face the sisters, give one salute to the sisters. Majum, which means to stand. All right, men of Israel. Majum Shabbat, Majum, Barak, Yahweh Shamar, Allah Shim Yahushai.
Yahweh, Shamar, Al, Adon, Bashem, Yahweh Shai.
And with that, class dismissed.